Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video, just like the title says, is birthday party DIYs for Nevaeh's first birthday. Like the title said, we are doing a Wild One theme. So the first thing I DIY'd was the party hat. And the way I'm showing this video is I'm showing each individual DIY separate. That way if you don't want to go do all of these DIYs, you can skip to the section that you want to skip to. So yeah, like I said, I'm starting with the party hat. I found a template online, printed it out on some cardstock, and cut that out, and then I glued on some leopard print, like scrapbook paper. That way it was a leopard print hat. And before anyone asks, I looked everywhere for what I wanted, could not find what I wanted, and if I did find something close to what I wanted, it was a fortune. So I made all these DIYs because in the long run it saved us the money that we would have spent. I added it all up and it would have been over $1,000 to buy all of this stuff. And because we had a lot of this stuff, and a lot of this stuff was relatively cheap to purchase, it didn't cost anywhere near that. But for a party hat that I made for, I think it added up to maybe $3-4. The one I would have purchased was $21. So yeah. But I just glued the leopard print to the cardstock. Of course, you can do that before you cut it all. I could have done that and I didn't. And then I just kind of glued it together to make it stick. I originally taped it on the inside, but the tape didn't work. Well, I originally glued it, then that didn't work. And then I taped it, and that didn't work. So I ended up going in with the glue gun and doing it that way. And I didn't film every single step. Like this, I glued the pom-poms or the black pom fringe to the bottom of it, and I didn't show that. Here I'm gluing the pink cardstock one that I cut out to the hat, and then I trimmed that in gold ribbon. Does it look perfect? Does it look great? No. But it's cute. It looks good enough for her first birthday. We'll see if she ends up wearing it. And I will have a party prep as well as a party vlog. Now here I am making the pom-pom for the top of the hat. I just bought black yarn and wrapped it around my fingers. It said 25 times. I think I ended up doing it 40 or 50. And then I just cut it until I was happy with what it looked like, and it looked like a pom-pom. also glued a pink ribbon to the back of the hat. That way the seam wasn't shown. And here I am gluing the pom-pom to the hat. This took a little bit of maneuvering because I had to get the strings in there just right to be able to glue the hat, to glue the pom-pom into the hat and onto the hat. I just twirled them around enough until I could fit them through the hole on the top of the hat. Pulled them through, glued them on the inside, and then I glued part of the outside pom-pom to the outside of the hat. And then I just let it dry. And then when that had dried enough, and the glue dried, because I'm using a hot glue gun, it dries super fast. Then I cut a piece of elastic, like a piece of elastic cord, and tied a knot in each end, and then hot glued those to the inside of the party hat. That way it had a band on it, so it actually goes around her head. But it's really easy to make a party hat. It was a lot easier than I thought. I watched a couple tutorials, read a few things, found the template, and then I just decorated it however I wanted it. Okay, so the next thing I made was a photo banner or a photo garland. For that, I just got on Canva and took 2 circles and sized them to the size that I wanted, cut those out on a piece of paper, and I traced each of those sizes onto black cardstock and, once again, some leopard print or cheetah print scrapbook paper. And I just did that 14 times, and I made sure to make one extra, and then you'll see my mistake in a few minutes. But this was relatively easy. It was just cutting out the circles, tracing them, and then cutting them out on some thicker paper, and then gluing the leopard print to the black scrapbook paper. now that the leopard print had been glued to the black cardstock, I had cut out the letters NB for newborn, and I cut out all my numbers that I needed. I did that off camera because that was really tedious, and if you have a Cricut, that would probably be a lot less tedious and a lot easier, but I don't have a Cricut. So I printed them all out on paper, cut those out, traced them onto cardstock, and then cut them out again. And it took, and I am going to mention, I did not do all of these DIYs in one day, 1 week. I think overall it took me a month or so to do it. I wasn't working continuously through a month. I started in like February, into February, and I just finished the last DIY yesterday. So I've been working for about 2 months, but I wasn't working consistently on this stuff, so it's not like I sat down 1 month and decided, okay, I'm going to do this like this day and this day, and this. It's just kind of, I did it as I had time. And then instead of cutting out a 12, which that's my mistake I made, I did cut out a 12 and I glued it onto the 14th, or like the extra paper, and then I realized I cut out a wild one, so it said wild one on it instead of saying 12. Turn this, or these pieces of paper, actually into a photo garland. But the first thing I'm going to do is glue, post scratching me, is glue the little clothespins to the back. Okay, so what I ended up doing was using miniature clothespins, and I will also add that most of the stuff I used, I showed in hauls, or I did a Wild One party haul last Friday. So yeah, on Friday. And because I think, yeah, this video is going up Monday. So, yeah, that video went up Friday. If you want to know where I got all the stuff, all you have to do is check that video. Most of it isn't in there. And if I get the chance, I'm going to make a massive supply list for what you need to do all of these. And I will put it on my Patreon. And then all you have to do is follow the link that'll take you to my Patreon, and you can get all the links and for all the stuff you need. And I will split it up by DIY. I didn't show this, but what I ended up doing was gluing clothespins to each side, or not to each side, but to the top and the bottom of the little circles, and running jute twine through the top one. That way it's all together on a string, and I still have a clothespin for the photo.
To sleep at night, doing crazy dreaming.
Okay, so the next thing is a happy birthday sign, and I originally was not going to make a happy birthday sign, but I saw a cute idea, cute inspiration photo on Etsy, because I was just going to order it, and it was going to cost me $30 to order it, and I went, I could make that. So, because I already had all the supplies to make it, I ended up cutting out a free template that I found on the same site that I found my party hat template on, which I will link that down below. And I cut out like the black cardstock to look like the bunting flag, and then I cut squares of the leopard print that I had. And I think I was telling you that in this clip, but I'm just going to narrate over it and I'll silence this clip. So, yeah, either way, you know what I'm doing. But I ended up gluing, kind of like how I did the birthday or the photo garland. I just glued the leopard print to the black cardstock. I cut out letters that spelled happy birthday, and I glued those on to the leopard print. And then I flipped them all over, and I used my hot glue gun, and I glued a pink ribbon to the back. So honestly, I think the happy birthday banner or the happy birthday sign was probably the easiest thing I made.
You're the reason why hiding by the baby, losing my mind. Don't try to save me. I feel alive. My world is faster and faster. The tears and the laughter. I'm here for the ride. Yes, yes, I'm an emotional mess. Yes, but you wouldn't want me any less. Yes, 'cause you know how wild it could get to love an emotional I'm in a trance, spinning out of control. Don't know what this dance is, but at least I'm not dancing alone. All kinds of crazy. You heard what I said. I blame you, lover. I'm out of my head. Some days my fear has me frozen. I'm brave and I'm broken. My soul is wide open. Yes, yes, I'm an emotional mess. Yes, but you wouldn't want me any less. Yes, 'cause you know how wild it could get to love an emotional mess. You got me, baby, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, my heart's in your hands. You got me, baby, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, baby.
Okay, so now for the high chair banner. First thing I did was cut a piece of pink cardstock and glue white palm trim to the edges of it. Then I cut out letters for that said wild one, and I did this in my leopard print scrapbook paper. And the party hat and the lettering and the backgrounds on on all of these are different because I did not have a piece of, or the piece of this cardstock was not big enough for her birthday hat template. And I needed it to be that size to fit her head. So, yeah. But either way, it still works. It still looks good together, and I'm very pleased with my product. All of these items that I made. And honestly, at the end of the day, me being happy with this is all that matters, because she's not gonna remember it, but I am.
You got me, babe, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, my heart's in your hands. You got me, babe, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, baby. Yes.
Okay, so now for the high chair banner. After I glued a piece of jute twine to the back of it, I did that jute twine 80 inches long to make sure that I had enough space to put all the ribbons and stuff, all the fabric on it, and all the ribbons and all that on it. And if I have to trim it more when I actually secure it to her high chair, then oh well. But what I did was lay out the sign, because I wanted to make sure the sign was glued on first in the exact center of the jute twine. Then I cut out all my fabric strips, I cut out all the ribbon, and I can't remember what length I did them. I will have to find the tutorial thing that I read to do this to figure out how long I made them. And then you just tie them like I tied that piece of ribbon there all the way through until you're done. And I chose a pattern based off because all the stuff I was making, I had seen what I wanted, or a general idea of what I wanted, and it just added up. I was able to make it cheaper than I would have been able to buy it. If I would have bought this high chair banner, it would have been $80, and to make it, it was 20. This was the most expensive thing this was the most expensive thing to make, because I had to buy the fabric, but I didn't use all the fabric on it. And my grandma's making a high chair seat cover in the leopard print that we had left over, and I used some of it on the tutu as well. And then of course I'll probably use the rest of the fabric on something else, because as of right now she is obsessed with animals. Okay, so the next thing was cupcake toppers and like table decor and labels, or like food labels and stuff. Like, you don't have to do that. This is totally extra. And I had bought cupcake toppers, but the problem with the cupcake toppers I bought was there weren't enough of the animals involved in it to top 48 cupcakes. Like, it came with 48 toppers, but there was a koala in it, and there was a panda in it. And yes, I could have used them, but her party is safari animals. So, cheetah, lion, tiger, elephant, giraffe, monkey, that kind of stuff. So that's what I wanted. And then, so I just printed out on some cardstock, wild one. Then I made, and I did all of this on Canva. Anything that I designed through Canva. Like this like this paper I'm printing out now, I have 4 of those. One says cards and gifts and cards. One says sweet treats. One says safari snacks. And I did one that says watering hole. And then I went through and I made smaller labels that I'm going to fold. And I'm going to write like the food on it. Like we're doing a lion Lunchable. Like a tray that looks like it's going to look like a lion, but it's going to be made out of like Lunchable things. Like pepperoni and crackers and cheese and all that. Now I'm getting back to the cupcake toppers, and what I'm doing is like where I'd cut out the wild ones, I'm putting some scrapbook glue on them, attaching a toothpick, and attaching the other one to the other side so it is double-sided, and it's really that easy, and it's just going to stick into the cupcake. Like I said, you do not have to do this. This is completely extra. But I did want to go all out for this party because this is her first birthday. Like I said, this is for me. And well, we might go out all out next year, but birthdays were always a big thing in my family. It was a special thing. So that's what I did. And these are the cards that I'm talking about that I'm going to write like the food on. I cut out some with animals too, so it's not just the leaves. The leaves were more for like food that didn't have like a picture to it, because I wanted to do foods associated with the animals. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Then I also made some cupcake toppers with zebra print ones, and I did that. And then I did some with leaves, and those were easy. I already bought a pack of leaf stickers, so I put the leaf stickers on cardstock, cut out around them, glued those together. I think I had to use hot glue for those. And then I ended up gluing a pink one to each side as well. So I made 3 different types of cupcake toppers to go into the cupcakes that weren't going to have an animal. Even though some of them will still have the animals. I just didn't want to use, like, I could have used the panda and the koala, like I said. I didn't want to. Crazy? Yeah, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't hurt to be a little crazy.
I'm an emotional mess, yes, but you wouldn't want me any less, yes. I'm an emotional mess, yes, 'cause you know how wild it could get, yes. To love an emotional mess, yes, you wouldn't want me any less, yes, 'cause you know how wild it could
Okay, so the next thing I'm making is a One Wild Year sign. I just used cardboard that I had left over from the backdrop, and I traced out the letters on it. I cut those out with a box cutter. I wrapped those in wrapping paper. I had animal print wrapping paper, mainly for wrapping presents and for a couple of DIYs. I only used it on one DIY besides this one. And I've got my tongue sticking out because that's what I do when I focus. When I focus, my tongue sticks out. So I'm sorry, but yeah, that's just me. And I wanted to make this sign because I originally was going to buy it, but the only place that I could afford that I could have afforded the other one, but it just didn't look right. It was gold, and I didn't want it to be gold, and then I found a green one. I didn't want it to be green. I wanted it to be animal print. And then I found an animal print one on Amazon, and it was already put together. It wasn't adjustable, and it came and it said Wild 1 Year. And Wild 1 Year didn't make sense. It does not make sense in my head. Even when I say it out loud, it does not make sense. But One Wild Year makes sense. So this is going to hang over her photo garland. That's what I'm imagining in my head. I'm going to hang the One Wild Year sign, and then I'm going to do her photo garland underneath it. So, yeah. But this is too cute when you actually see it all put together. is completely optional. The only reason I bought these were because I needed this one sign for her photo shoot. I ended up painting that pink, but I cannot find the footage of it anywhere. So just know I painted it pink. And you will see the video of her photo shoot, because I am going to film some of vlog that over this weekend. I vlogged it over this past weekend, and you will see that on Wednesday in that vlog. But I ended up painting the Wild One sign. I painted the Wild in pink. Then I painted the one in animal print, which you will see. It's just easier to show than to explain. And you can buy these painted, they just cost a lot of money. Same as the one. You can buy that pink, but it costs a lot of money. So I found them for like $5 a sign, and I went, okay, well, instead of paying $20 to $30, I already have paint and paintbrushes, so I'll just buy $5 signs and I'll paint them myself. Okay, so now I'm going to make the tutu, and I honestly just made the tutu because the one I wanted was $90, and I was not going to pay that, and the cheaper one just wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't even a tutu. It was a bunch of fabric wrapped around a piece of elastic, and it looked like crap. So I was not doing that. So I found a way to make a tutu at home relatively easy. So that's what I did. All you need is a crochet headband and 3 spools, maybe 4 of tulle, and if you want to make this one, you need some animal print fabric. But I just cut out some cardboard into the length I needed because that's what the tutorial said to do. So I did a 14, a 12, and a 10. And then I found my tool and measured it out a little bit. I had 1 yard of tulle that I bought, and originally I thought that would do it. I was way wrong. You need way more than that. So I ended up buying more tulle on Amazon. I bought the cheap one, but it didn't matter. This tutu still looks amazing. So, yeah. But you just wrap the tulle around the cardboard the number of times that, like, you'll count the holes in the crocheted headband, then you wrap the tulle that many times around that cardboard, and you cut both ends of the tulle, and then you end up taking 2 pieces of tulle. You can use one. I did 2 because it looked fuller that way, and you just loop it through the headband, which you will see in a minute.
The tears and the laughter, I'm here for the ride. Yes, yes, I'm an emotional mess. Yes, but you wouldn't want me any less. Yes, 'cause you know how wild it could get. To love.
And I found the tutorial on how to do this on YouTube, so I will link that tutorial down in the description box, or I will link it on, like I said, I'm going to do a mass list of everything that you need to do these DIYs and put it on my Patreon. So, yeah. I will make sure I leave that link on that document as well. Then for the second row, you go through 2 holes for that one. And then for the fabric, I didn't really show how to attach that. I don't know where that clip is, but I just, because my original plan was fabric and a piece of tulle, and it was going to go through the holes, and that's how it was going to work. And it did not work. So I did 2 layers of fabric, and then, or 2 layers of tulle, and the fabric strips that I cut, I just took them through the top hole on the band and pulled them.
Okay, so this is the final product. I did the fabric strips same way I did the tulle, except I cut them 10 inches long, 1 inch diameter, and just split them the entire one the same way.
Okay, so I did make balloon boxes, but what I did was buy cheap pink ones from Shein. They were like $3, and I just covered the letters in my wrapping paper, and all I had to do was hook those to the boxes. Then I took some animal print stickers and some of my leaf stickers and some flower stickers I had from a planner, and just kind of put them wherever I wanted to on the balloon boxes to slightly resemble the balloon boxes that I could have bought that were a ton of money. So, yeah. This one is probably the easiest one if you don't do the wrapping paper on top of the letters. Because all you do is stick stickers to it. So, yeah. But then all I have to do, probably the day before the parties when I'll fill these, all I have to do is blow up the balloons, which I have a balloon pump to make that a whole lot easier, because I'm planning on making a balloon garland too. So I'm gonna so if I blow up all the balloons, it'll probably kill me, especially if I try to do it with my mouth instead of a balloon pump. So yeah.
Spinning out of control. Don't know what this dance is, but at least I'm not dancing alone. All kinds of crazy. You heard what I said.
final thing I'm sharing how to make is the backdrop. And I'm sharing this last because this is the most complicated. This is the most time consuming. The reason it took me so long to do all these DIYs is because the backdrop took me forever. This was the first thing I started, and this is the last thing I finished. So, yeah. But it is doable, and if you're not doing it all yourself, then it's probably a little bit easier to do. But like I said, you don't have to make all of these DIYs. I just did it, and I just wanted to compile them into a DIY video for her party. That way, if you wanted to make some DIY stuff for a wild one party, or a safari party, or a jungle party, or whatever, then you kind of had an idea of how to do it. And there is no tutorial for this. This is just what I had in my head. We had a giant box from where we got a new bathtub. So I just cut them, I just measured out what I wanted, drew on them with a marker, and cut them out with a box cutter. So you can see me kind of like measuring in my head and stepping back and looking, and then finally I get the shape that I wanted, and I start cutting. Then after I get it cut,
Could get, yes, to love an emotional mess, yes. You wouldn't want me any less, yes. 'Cause you know how wild it could get to love an emotional mess.
then after I got it cut, I measured it out again, and I went over it with some white craft paper. After I went on with my scrapbook tape. I love this scrapbook tape because it comes in a roll, and all I have to do is roll it on. So that's what I did. And I just went over that with white craft paper all the way down on the one side, and then the next side you will see in another clip I covered it in leopard print fabric. it's not really fabric what I covered it in. It was supposed to be a leopard print photo backdrop that I got off Shein. It was extremely cheap. And then when I got the product and opened it, and it was basically a plastic tablecloth, I understood why it was so cheap. But it worked out even better. I just got some spray adhesive, sprayed that on there, and went over it. Then I cut out wild Nevaeh is a wild one, and I did all of the letters in pink, and then I covered the W, the I, L, and D with my leopard print, and I cut that out as well. Then after I got that on there, I drew the animals that I needed for the backdrop, colored those. I did that completely off camera because it took me 4 days to get those completely done. And then I secured those onto the backdrop. Then I made tissue paper flowers. Tissue paper flowers got secured on the backdrop with more spray adhesive and some hot glue because I just wanted to make sure it was double secured. And I had drew vines with a paint pen on it and colored in the leaves and the vines, so it actually looks like the party invitation. And that's how I made the backdrop. Like I said, most time consuming thing, hardest thing to make, but it was totally worth it. I like it, everyone else likes it, and even Nevaeh likes it, which I know she's not going to remember it, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy she likes it, even though she's not going to remember it, and I'm pleased with it. So that's going to be it for this Wild One birthday party DIY video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button down below if you have not done so already. Not all of my videos are this long. I know this one was a long one. So thank you for watching, and I will see you Wednesday for my next video. Bye bye.